In my profession as a behavioral specialist, it is my job responsibility to work with children whose behavior problems are interfering with their ability to succeed in a school setting. So I have received a referral for an 8-year-old boy named Michael who is exhibiting disruptive behavior in an after school program that he attends. He doesn't have any educational needs. It has been determined that his issues are more focused on externalizing behaviors. And these behaviors interrupt his other peers and they prevent him from finishing any homework activities. So, my first step is to meet with the after school program director and staff. At the meeting, I open it up and I ask the director and the staff to tell me about the program. The director does all the talking and explains that their after school program is a high quality program with a focus on increasing the academic success of children from broken homes and working families who have not made it a priority to be home after school to help their children with their homework. She states that they work very hard to achieve their goal of increasing the homework success and grades of children who attend their program, and she will do everything she can to keep this going. The staff members don't say a word and they don't even make eye contact with me. So I, in turn, respond with, "So tell me about Michael and why you have made a referral for a behavior interventionist." And again, the director takes over, does all the talking, and says that Michael fits the profile of the behavior disorder child perfectly. His mom is a single parent who has never been married. He has no father figure in the home. He gets to watch as much TV and play as many video games as he wants. He talks about, that's the only thing that he talks about. He talks about video games all the time. And he gets to eat whatever he wants, which includes a lot of junk food. She says, "I can't imagine the last time he had a vegetable. You should see the kinds of foods he brings from home. I'm sure there is no discipline in the house." And she continues to say that our feeling is that the lack of control in the home is the basis of his problems here in our program. He doesn't want to do his homework, even though he's a very bright boy. He doesn't follow the rules of staying in his seat until all his homework is done. Instead, he tries to bother the other kids around him, tries to talk to them, and he gets up for no reason to distract others. And he doesn't finish his homework in a timely manner. She says, "We can't get him out of this program without a recommendation from you, so that's why we called you. We want him out. His behavior is affecting the whole program. We need to keep our children progressing in their homework completion and grade improvement, and if we don't, the program is not going to be funded. And we see Michael as the reason why our scores in these areas have dropped, and we are afraid our program is going to be closed. All these children will lose their after school care if the program is closed, and all these staff members are going to lose their jobs if this program gets closed. So, is there a paper you can get and sign to get him out of here?" My personal response to this situation is, I don't think Michael is the reason why the scores in the homework areas have dropped. And I don't think that you can put the blame on one specific person. And I especially don't think that you can put the blame on a child. A child who is clearly exhibiting some disruptive behavior. I mean, he's just trying to communicate with us. We still haven't found a way to respond to his needs. So he's trying to get our attention. We have to see that. We have to see it that way. We can't see it as he's just disrupting everybody and becoming a distraction. I have learned during my time in higher education that this sort of thing is a conflict. Something like this that the school director is asking me to do, to just sign something, that is a definite conflict and that definitely does happen. And I see it as a, you can't pawn off another child. You can't hand off a difficult child just because it's so challenging you don't even want to deal with it. You cannot do that. You you have a responsibility as an educator and as a teacher to help that child. Put all your resources together and collaborate with other teachers and other educators to help out the best you can, so this student can have a more positive and more better outcome in his life and in the school setting. I would tell that the director this, and I would also say that I have heard loud and clear where the director stands. I now want to hear from the staff, because I think it's important to hear from everyone, and more especially, I think that the staff are the people who interact with Michael the most on a daily basis. Being a director of a program, you have so many responsibilities. I can only imagine that you don't get to spend as much time with Michael as the other staff members do. I'm sure they spend way more time because they are there, on a daily basis, and they get to see more of Michael than what you have seen. So, some of the values that I would say that are influencing Michael's experience in this program, I think they have a lot to do with the program and the people who work at the after school program, The director has put such a high emphasis on it almost sounds like perfectionism, and that isn't always the best type of value to have, because it can get you to go to the extremes and almost, do whatever needs to be done, whatever is necessary to continue to make sure that those grades and those homework percentages are improving and are increasing. And I think that a lot has not been said for the mom. The mom has not been able to put her 2 cents in. We haven't heard anything from the mom. And I think that the mom should be also at this meeting. The school teachers who at the school setting interact with Michael should also be at this meeting. A sort of IEP structure should be here. An IEP is an individualized education program, which is served mostly for students with disabilities, but I think that is something structured similar to the IEP, but not obviously exactly, should be in place for Michael. It would show the areas where he needs improvement, and everyone would be able to collaborate and to come together and come up with solutions, possible solutions to help, resolve these disruptive behaviors, minimize them or something. And I think that this would be the most adequate and most reasonable way to go about it. I think that sometimes it is good for children and families to be enrolled at programs like this, because Michael does need guidance. He's only 8 years old, and if his mother is not at home, he needs that guidance from somewhere else. And, yeah, it's at a school setting, and yeah, homework is going to be emphasized, but if more components are put into play, um, besides homework, I think it would be a very good place to be at. There are some long-term effects, both positive and negative, from attending a after-school program like this, and those effects really relate back to homework. You're either going to have a very negative experience about doing homework and you're going to hate it, which sort of was my personal experience from attending an after school program, or you're going to have a rather positive and very structured experience. You're going to be very accustomed to making sure you get your homework done, and that's the first thing that you work on, and then you get to play, then you get to have your free time. So it just kind of, it's a teeter totter kind of thing. If you pressure the student long and hard enough, they might tend to sway to the negative experience and have negative long-term effects. And I I base my answer about the IEP, I based that off personal experience. I know about IEPs because of my brothers, and like I said, I believe every student should have an IEP. It's an individualized education plan, and we want all our students to be successful as educators and teachers. Why not all give them their own individualized plans? That would be amazing. I understand that there's no way, not enough resources, not enough time in the day to come up with individualized plans. But that would be awesome. That would be something to aspire to and work towards. I do not think that this particular after school program is a high quality program because I did not hear talk from the director about valid assessments that they work with or valid environmental rating scales that they work with to ensure that they have a high quality program. I believe that these are the markers of a high quality program, that valid assessments, valid scales and developmental profiles that are used, those are the markers of a high quality program, especially a high quality program that is going to serve children from ages 2 to adolescence. I have never applied this, you know, information to a real life experience similar to this, and I don't I would hope that this is the way that I would respond, because a lot was said from the director that was very judgmental, and I don't think that there should be no judgment when talking about a child and his behaviors, which could be disruptive, but we don't know the causes about that. Granted, that is why you get a behavior interventionist, but you don't blatantly say just sign whatever paper to get him out. That is definitely not what you should do. And if you do, I think you should reconsider your responsibility and check yourself. You know, check and be like, is this following my responsibility of ensuring that all the children who attend my program are getting a high quality experience, and that my program is offering a high quality experience for them? Because something like that, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And like I said, personal experience backs up a lot of these responses. So, that is my response to this particular scenario.